Majesty above, that's above, and what's down here? The fruited. Now, you can do fruit ED, but that looks like it's fruit that happened in the past, so you don't want to do that. So we're going to say fruit-filled plain, and just make that big land thing that we were talking about before, like kingdom, just showing how far this fruit goes. Above the fruited plain, America, which we learned already, America, God shed his, you don't want to do shed because that's too awkward to get your arm out there putting it down. Blessed his grace. There are a couple of different signs for grace. One is a G coming out from God and coming down into your heart, or you could have just that general, here's the Holy Spirit coming, filling your heart. Or, if you're thinking about it with this, he's spreading it on the land. It's not really in your heart. So he shed his grace, you know, kind of come down and then put it out on the land, his grace, on thee. And thee is this land that you've established already. Now, here is a real tough one, a struggle for all the interpreters that I've chatted with about this song. And crowned thy good. Well, what does that mean? It's, once again, this is easier to do in ASL, but, and crowned, the best thing, superior, the top thing, and crowned thy good. You want to do good things, and the best good things with brotherhood. People getting along together. Now you can be very technical and do the brotherhood if you prefer to do that. Maybe have an even better way to sign that. But the idea is that the best thing, the superior gift that God has given to America is that the people all get along well. So the struggle is to say in English on your mouth what you're trying to sign that's conceptually more accurate to and appropriate for the meaning of the words, but still stay in English. You're going to crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Okay, this takes some coordination. From sea, we'll do a beach, however you do the beach, to, or continuous over the land that you've already established here, shining sea. Okay, now for the second verse. Whatever you decide to do for Oh Beautiful before, you can do it again. Oh Beautiful for Patriot's Dream. You can sign Patriot. That doesn't really connect with anything. You might do American or people American before, whatever pops up in your brain, for Americans before, for Patriots dream. It's not a night dream, it's a vision that sees beyond the years, talking about way in the future, thine alabaster, that's a white marble actually, but we're going to do a white rock, thine. Now you've set up this city out there that the former American people dreamed would happen eventually here. Thine alabaster's cities, so move it out a little bit where that dream happened, gleam. Now when they gleam, where are they gleaming? You've established out there, we're looking at it gleam, so the gleaming comes back towards you. Thine alabaster cities gleamed, undimmed, but not dimmed, darkened, by human tears. Now remember, we're staying in English here. Then once again, America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Now I'm doing beaches, but you could do sea to shining sea. That would look pretty also. So there we have it in English, at least my suggestions for it. And now we're going to bring up the music and see how it works out as we try it. Try with me.
Spacious skies, far and away.
pretty good. So now let's take a look at that same song in ASL. We're going to start with "Oh Beautiful for Spacious Skies." One more time, make sure your eyes are looking up and seeing those beautiful skies. Now in this phrase, for amber waves of grain, you cannot in ASL give a color and an action to something you haven't established yet. Therefore, you have to give me the grain. This is the sign for a kind of a grass up under your chin, that kind of opened 5-hand. So when we do this phrase, that's why you're not going to be putting the words in English on your mouth while you're signing in ASL, because you have to establish the grain first, then you can give me the color and the waving. For amber waves of grain, or amber waves of grain, or whichever way it pops up in your brain when we happen to arrive at that point in the song. For purple, once again, with purple mountains majesty, we can't give me purple until you've got the mountain in place already. So we want to see for purple mountains majesty. Above, that's already been established above, so we don't need to sign anything above because we've got our hands up already and there's the mountain. Above thy, I have a tendency when I'm signing in ASL, not sure why, to do fruited plains and give me the fruit and the tree sign, because I know that's not exactly what the meaning is, but you could do fruit-filled plains for this, or fruited plains, trees. America, America, God. Now here, we're not going to get into shed his grace on thee. One big sweeping motion takes care of that whole concept. God shed his grace on me. Because what's the meaning? The meaning is that he blessed the land. So there's no need to get all those words in there. We're going to go right to the heart of the message. God shed his grace on thee. And we've already established all those parts of the land, and we're going to bless what we've established. And crowned thy good. Now, you can give me good things, best what? You know, the rhetorical question part of ASL. Good things, a whole list. Best what? People that get along all over the place. Brotherhood. From, no froms in ASL. Ocean, land, ocean. That whole place in there, that's where people get along. So in ASL, you're going to keep your mouth shut. You're not going to give me any English words, and you're just going to go with the concepts that pop up in your brain. The second verse, oh beautiful for patriots, you can do the American people a long time ago dreamed. Sees beyond the years. You don't need to give me that. You can give me predict that sees beyond the years, or you could give me that. We've already given the dream thing. If you're dreaming that later, 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 you can give me that one. Still, white rock, cities, they're gleaming towards us again. Now on this phrase, we're not going to have undimmed by human tears. We're going to have the rhetorical question, people cry? None. With a real smug kind of a look, because that was their dream, that their dream in the future that all Americans would never cry. Once again, we'll go back to America, America, God shed his grace on thee, and crowned good things, a list. What's the best? Brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. And once again, before I sign this one in the music, I want you to remember that this is just a suggestion for a way to do it. You need to find a way that you're comfortable, ask around in your area, maybe you have other interpreters that do it a different way. There's not a right and a wrong. The only thing you need to really avoid is making conceptual inaccurate mistakes. So as long as you ask and check, if you follow this videotape, you should be in pretty safe ground, or check with other people in your area, and you will be signing. This is a wonderful time of patriotism here in America, and I'm guessing we will still be doing patriotic songs for a while, so I'm happy that you decided to learn these. So let's give it a try now and see how it all works out in ASL. Thank you so much for joining me on this videotape and practicing and brainstorming about what would be some good signs for those 2 patriotic songs. I've enjoyed it, and I hope to have the privilege of you joining me on another videotape in the future. Thank you.
Over 200 people packed a beachfront hotel in Brevard County over the weekend, but there wasn't a single noise complaint. That's because no one uttered a sound. As Central Florida News 13's Nancy Alvarez explains, they came together for the 22nd annual worldwide Silent Weekend.
Laughter was the only sound coming from this room at the Radisson Hotel in Indy Atlantic. For 3 days, there was no speaking, only signing. Those were the rules of the 22nd annual Silent Weekend, an event that teaches people sign language by immersing them in a world without words. Now that it's over, Tabitha Poplin can finally talk about it.
When we went to restaurants, we had to point at what we wanted. You know, we couldn't speak, and it just really gives you insight to what it's like not being able to communicate with hearing people.
90 classes were offered throughout the weekend, everything from beginner sign language to advanced, even signed poetry workshops. Maureen Longo taught a workshop on communicating across different cultures and classes.
If I'm doing this sign for a can opener, that's great if we both grew up in America or in a country that uses that kind of a can opener. But if you're part of the wealthy, privileged class who only plug it into something electric and it goes around and it's off, you don't know what this is. And I'm thinking, what are you, an idiot?
But these people aren't the only ones who learned a thing or two. The hotel staff received special training for their silent guests. They learned some signs and got tips on lip reading. This was the first time Silent Weekend has come to Brevard County, but organizers say it won't be the last. They say it went so well, they're coming back next year. And that's good news for the local economy.